Okay, awesome. I'm so excited. So today's training is really, really exciting. It is new content, which is exciting as always, especially for me, somebody that's doing this every month. And it's also different. So those of you who have been on a lot of webinars or trainings lately, which is probably most of you, to be honest, this is going to be a workshop. And I've never done anything like this before. So thanks for hanging out with me and letting me practice on you. But you're going to love it because what we're doing, and I'm going to repeat this probably in a little bit, but what we're doing is we're going step by step through how to write a post that can sell your high-end coaching. Cool? So I'll explain that more in a little bit, but make sure you've got your computer open where you can type, or at least a notebook. You're probably going to want to have like Word or Notes app or something so you can type, okay? And a notebook, if we're being honest. But before we dive into that, I want to make sure you're all in the right place because I do not work with everybody. I do not specialize in working with everybody. Most of you can probably get a lot of value from this, but you're really in the right place. And tell me if this is speaking to you. If you know that you're good at what you do already, most of you are probably coaches, high-end service providers, maybe like a webinar, no, web designer, copywriter, something like that. You know the work that you do is important to get into the world. And on top of that, you're very passionate about your message and you really want to share your story with people, okay? If you're on this webinar and maybe you're a coach or a service provider, maybe you're something else and you feel like you're not trying to create a personal brand, you're not trying to sell you, right? Like I sell Taylor Manning. If you're trying to sell a product, or if you're like, I don't want to have to share my story all the time, probably not for you because I am all about story, okay? And here's really important too. This is best for you if you're already writing content and doing the work, okay? But it's just not selling at the rate that you would like it to. So especially those of you ladies, you can raise your hand. This is you. But if you're writing content like every single day and it's driving you nuts because it's not selling, very good for you, okay? So normal, by the way. And kind of already said this, but if you're a coach or a high-end service provider, so if you're looking to sell programs, services, things like that, that are 5K, 10K and beyond, which is what my clients have done, which is what I do, that is what I mean by posts that sell high-end services, high-end packages, okay? 5K, 10K, 20K even, right? And a lot of you may not be there yet, but this is what you need to do that, cool? If you're charging less than that, that's okay. This is going to help you when you do raise your rates. And you can sell 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K with this type of post, this type of content as well, of course. But I just want you to know it's like on point enough to be selling at those kinds of rates, which all of you can do, PS. Amy said that she's not, but I want to restart. I want to sell my story, but I'm so disconnected because it feels like so long ago, but it's the spot my ideal client is in now. Awesome, Amy. This is going to be good for you then, okay? So, I'm Taylor. If you didn't know, I look a little bit different than I do in this photo because I don't have the cute lipstick, but mostly because I've got darker hair these days, although I totally miss the blonde hair. So you're going to see pictures of me with blonde and brown hair. I don't think you guys care about that, but I'm just reminiscing. So let's rewind a little bit, okay? So November 2015. So long ago, it feels like. I was 20 years old. So if you want to do the math and figure out my age now, totally can. I'm still pretty young, but I was very young then. I was 20 years old. And this is a picture of me and my now fiance, Frankie. So cool. And that's a new thing. It's like only a couple weeks old. And this is a picture of us like in our apartment where we used to live. And we were living in this neighborhood that we just hated. It did not feel like home. We felt so out of place. We felt so unhappy. It was just a super crowded neighborhood, a lot of trouble going on, and just the house was so outdated. It was just not where we wanted to be living. But we did, okay? And my parents were not talking to me at this point because, speaking of Frankie, I had just moved in with him. I mean, I moved into with him a little bit before this, obviously months before this, but he's older than me. We have an age gap. Okay. And my parents were not into that. They were not into having their 20-year-old daughter dating a guy in his 30s, God forbid. Which I don't really blame them for that then, but we're all good. But they weren't talking to me, right? And so I think with these couple of things, right, I moved across the country. I moved from Florida, PS, to Connecticut, which is where I live now, into this neighborhood that I hated, okay, which was a huge motivation for me in my business. Parents weren't talking to me. They thought everything I was doing was crazy. I felt like the only person that was like even semi-supportive was Frankie. Nobody understood what I did. Our landlord even told me that he didn't want me even running a business in his apartment. That if I was going to be making money from his apartment, I should be paying him extra. So there's just all this like hate and not being supported and stuff going on. And at this point, what I was doing was not coaching, right? What I was doing was freelancing on a site called Upwork, which doesn't really matter, but here's the point. I was selling my services. I was doing copywriting, web design, social media, any type of service that you could imagine for online business owners, I was doing, and I was charging $15 an hour. And that was actually like a really good rate for me because I started out charging $7 a couple months before this. And I just discovered the world of coaching. I had just signed my first coaching client, not a coaching client, but a client that was a coach, right? And I was like, oh, this is so cool. She sells her time. She sells her phone calls, right? Which I was already including phone calls. My clients could call me any time of day, any day of the week, totally free, talk to me for however long they wanted, zero boundaries, okay? So when I discovered that, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like I should be charging for my phone calls. I should be charging for my Skype calls. And I had worked with dozens of clients already at that time. I was like, I could do this, right? And of course they were charging these like really high end rates. And I was like, oh my God, I would be like rich if I did that. And I'm already like at the point where I'd be really good at it too. And it seems like a lot more fun for me. But obviously, probably like a lot of you, I had a mile long list of reasons why I was not ready to be a coach. So I thought things like, who would ever buy coaching from a 20-year-old? Some of you may totally agree with me. You might be like, yeah, no, I wouldn't. You would have, because that was pretty cool. But I was like, nobody would do that, right? Like they would be stupid to do that, right? I also felt like I didn't sound very intelligent, and I sucked on video. I sucked at writing. Okay. That's why this workshop is so, so cool, because my whole life I was told like writing is just not your subject. Reading is just not your subject. You're just not good at these things. Which is really funny now because that's literally how I make my living, right? And I didn't have the results. Who resonates with this? I didn't have the results that other marketing strategists and business coaches had. Like all I had was that I wrote newsletters for people, and I made sure people's Zoom links worked, and I made sure their lead pages like had the right date on them, and I designed a couple of websites that looked okay. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have these mind-blowing results that I saw these other people having, right? And I wasn't living a life that other people would want. So it's not like I was traveling the world. It's not like I was living in luxury. So I was like, what do I even have to market, right? Like, why would people hire me? And this photo is one of my very first photos I used in my coaching business. Obviously, selfie. And I put this text on it, ready to transform your business, which I had to throw in there because I found that. So here's what I did, guys, because I think a lot of you are wondering this, and most of you here are probably already making money in your business, which is awesome. Some of you probably are not, but it doesn't matter. This is for people anywhere from 0 to, I mean, really anything. I know we have people on here who are making 10K already, and this is perfect for you too. So, Christina, don't call me out on my font. Yeah. Okay. So here's what I did. I marketed what I knew I could teach. Okay. It's so normal to think you're not good enough. It's so normal to think your experience isn't good enough. Do you need to have experience? Yes. Do you need to have a skill? Yes. Do you need to be able to be sure that you can help people with some type of result? Yes. We're not out here to be ripping people off. Okay. Which is why it's so important that if you don't have a story to share, and if you hadn't like this might sound mean, but I don't think this is actually going to speak to anybody, but if you're like, I have no story, I've never done anything with my life, I I'm not passionate about anything. I have no skill set at all, like not even a tiny bit. I'm not even mediocre at anything. This is probably not for you, right? So I started marketing these taglines. These were literally the taglines on my website. Let me help you turn your offline expertise into an online business, and let me help you stop wanting to throw your computer out of the window. Because I figured if I could find these women who were already great at business, who were already skilled, right? And I could help them just put it online and help them get their website started and help them get an email list started and help them get a Facebook group started and help them get social media started, that would be helpful for them. And I found this market of women who were talented, who were educated, who were already running a business, who were all or very, very close to, right? And we're just talented in business and talented in what they did. I just helped them put it on the internet, okay? I started with that because that's what I knew I could do. I could explain any tech system, right? And I hired my own mentor who believed in me because I didn't believe in myself very much and showed me the steps to take. Huge, okay? And here's the key thing, guys. I kept going no matter what. It took me 3 months to sign my first client. And then in the next 4 months, I would only sign 3 more clients, right? Or technically 2 more, 3 total. So if you add that up, that's 3 clients in 7 months. I kept going. And here's what happened. So I made over $170,000 in my first year. And you guys will get an email from me later that talks about this and talks about the fact that it's not late. It's not too late to make 2018 your 6-figure year. Who has that goal, or who wants to have that goal, but you're afraid? Who here wants to make 6 figures in 2018? If your goal is bigger than that, you can put in the comments what your goal is. But I wanted to do that. And by May of 2016, I was not sure if that was possible. You know? Awesome. Okay, so that's what I did. And after I signed my first client, guys, remember so I signed my first client, and then 4 months later, I only had 3 clients ever, right? Well, 12 months after, so things were not looking pretty, okay? 12 months later, after signing my very first coaching client, I had a $59,000 cash month, okay? 11 months after signing my first coaching client, I had a $40,000 cash month. Things added up really quickly, but it would not have been that way if I hadn't stuck it out. And then my second year of coaching, which was last year, I made over $400,000. These numbers are all cash, okay? And now I charge $20,000 if you want to work with me privately, which is not what we're talking about today. But what's so cool is it felt impossible to sell a $3,000 program, you know? So things have changed a lot. And what's even cooler is the results that my clients get, right? They are signing clients at $15K, pay in full. They're having $60,000 cash months 4 months into their business. They're doing these huge things. And all of them started exactly where you are, right? All of them started feeling really insecure. All of them started with no results, okay? And obviously I work with clients. This result, 15K pay in full, was for one of my clients. It's a relationship coach, so super cool. So yeah, this is just some of the stuff that I'm super proud of to share with you. Now, recently I took 7 days off in my business. I made over $15,000 cash while I was doing that. All I did was had my team schedule a reusable email sequence. This is what I call a marketing saga. Okay, if you work with me, you'll learn about that. I sell 3 main offers in my business. I could keep it super, super simple. I use emails, live streams, posts, 1 webinar to hit 50K months, to hit anywhere from 20K to 50K cash, right? And I work a few hours a day and do things every single day that I really love. After this webinar, getting these nails done, they look terrible, and I have an event tomorrow night. So that's what I'll be doing. But yeah, and here's what I want to hear from you guys. And then we're going to step right into the training, but this is so important. This is what's kept me going. These 2 hooligans right here. This is when I brought my siblings. I have 2 sisters, 2 brothers. Okay. Who else has 5 kids in their family? I'm the oldest of 5, right? And this is a picture when I brought my sisters up here to visit me in Connecticut. First time seeing snow. So cute. That's why they look so adorable. And they're my why, right? Like, when I really connect to who I just truly am on the earth, I feel like what that is just a sister and a role model. Like, I truly, truly feel like that's my purpose. And I want to be that for all of you here. I want to be your sister. I want to be your role model. And anytime I get sucked into the numbers, the money, whatever, like, I literally am getting emotional right now. I think of that. I think of these people are not numbers. These people are not clients. They're my sisters. I'm their role model. They're my role models. You guys always inspire me, right? Those of you that I already know. P.S. Hey, Shauna, I see you. But obviously that starts with my actual siblings. So, yeah, so that's my why. That's what keeps me going. So that's what I want to hear from you guys before we start. What is your why? You know, it might be similar to me. It might be your siblings, your kids, your parents, who knows, right? It could be anything. It could be a value that you really want to fulfill, like seeing the world and traveling. Wow, Michelle, oldest of 18 cousins too. Wow. That's crazy. That is so crazy. Oh, hey, Sandra, so good to see you. Yeah. So important to connect to that, guys. It's so easy to get sucked into the numbers. I want to share my numbers because here's what I think. The easy part is the money. The cool part, the like sprinkles on top is the money, right? That shouldn't be the main focus. That shouldn't be the stressful thing. And I hope you guys will choose to follow me long term. And what you're going to notice if you do is I'm going to be throwing numbers at you all the time. I'm going to be sharing my income. I'm going to be talking about money and cash and sales and clients and results. But I truly, truly want you to know that's just the surface level result, okay? So that's why I really want to hear your why. Hey, Rosella. My why is to heal little Rosellas who grew up to be people pleasers while simultaneously, can't say that word very well, directing self-hate inward. I love that, little Rosella. So true. I so get that. Cool. Oh my gosh, I love you guys. Okay. So feel free to keep putting your whys in, guys. This is your chance to step into it. You know what I mean? Okay. Quick note. This is a workshop. I started telling you guys this in the beginning. This is a training that I would suggest, and I designed, we'll see how it goes, that you work with me through. Does that make sense? So I would suggest having your notes app or a Word document or something opened up. I would also suggest have a notebook. Because there's going to be some notes that you'll want to take and some little like, oh yeah, I want to remember that. And there's also going to be this chance for you to write a post with me, which is going to be so fun. So if you do that, my goal is that you will leave this training with 3 things. You will leave this training with a genius list of topic ideas, which is like the most valuable part. The first thing we're going to do, you're going to leave this training with a completed or almost completed. I'm sure most of you will want to tweak it because we're not going to sit here for a super long time. I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to just start writing the post, each section of it. So you'll at least have an almost completed post where you just kind of have to finalize it. Pretty it up, right? And also really cool thing that you're going to leave with is a clear understanding of how to write a post that actually sells. Okay. And how I do it. Because like I said, I really just love simple marketing. I used to teach funnels. I used to teach Facebook ads. I'm implementing some of that now in my business. I tried implementing it early on. Here's what I believe, just so you know. I believe you should work on getting to that at least 10K, if not 20K cash months with simple community posts, maybe some emails, definitely live streams. Get there with that and then hire a team like me to do fancy webinars and funnels and ads and all of that. I haven't even mastered that stuff, so it's kind of funny. I used to teach that, but yeah, let's get started, okay? Christina. Can someone kick Christina off? I'm just kidding. Don't kick Christina off. You're hilarious. Christina and I have inside jokes, guys. Actually, we have inside jokes in my new Facebook group, Fully Free with Taylor Manning. So write that down to go join that if you haven't. You're going to want to hang out with me more. So step 1. Oh, are you guys ready? Step 1, we're choosing a topic. Okay. You're going to want, I would do this paper and pen if it was me, but I mean, I don't need to be your kindergarten teacher. You can choose, but I would do paper and pen. Okay. Awesome. So choose your topic. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. Could you imagine? So little preface here, preface, however you say that. The best topics are the ones that haven't been said before. This might overwhelm you. This might scare you. But what I mean is when you go on Facebook and you scroll, Can you guys agree? There are a whole lot of posts that say the same thing, right? There are a whole lot of topics that are being covered a lot. And if that's what you're passionate about, and you'll see here, then sure, right? Like, it's okay, write about what you're passionate about. But when we can pinpoint some things that just haven't been said before, it is pure gold, okay? And obviously there's no point in writing a post that nobody's going to read, right? We don't want to waste our time doing that. And that's the problem. When somebody has seen a post on this, stop downloading freebies, right? Yes, Natasha, there'll be a 24-hour replay. So sweet of you to take your brother to the doctor. So if you see a post about downloading freebies, okay, what's going to happen, or would you read it, right? I wouldn't. What's going to happen is tons of people are going to scroll by it, because personally, I haven't been in Facebook groups hardcore in a while, but I know I've seen that post at least 100 times by a million different people. And I know for a lot of you, and even maybe for me, that would resonate with our ideal clients, right? Maybe not all of you, of course, but some of us. I'm sure some of you here are like, yeah, my ideal client does that. That's fine. Write about it if you want, but it's probably not going to do as well as what we're going to get to, okay? So the two things that are going to make your post stand out, the headline and the topic, okay? And if you want to attract the right readers, okay, so I love engagement. I am so addicted to it. I love getting hundreds of comments and likes. Like, it just gets me so excited. Like, if you guys have followed me, you know I will be Instagram storying how many people liked my post. Like, I'm addicted. But we want engagement because it's good for the algorithm and we get to meet our people. But we want the right readers. And if we want that, these things should probably be aligned, right? Your headline should probably be the topic of your post. It should probably be kind of catchy, maybe make people think for a second, whatever. So here's how we're going to come up with it. I'm so excited. We're going to make a couple of lists, okay? So the first thing I want you to think about, imagine who your ideal client is, okay? Go through their day. What are they thinking? And go through their day really quick, like waking up. What's their first thought in the morning? Start writing. Get on it. First thought in the morning, what is it? Write that down. As they're getting ready for the day, or are they even getting ready for the day? What's going on in their head? What's going on in their head for the afternoon? How are they spending their afternoon? What's going on in their head as well? If you're a business coach or you work with entrepreneurs, what's going on as they're in their business, as they're working? What are the thoughts? Okay. If you're a relationship coach, what are the thoughts that are going on in their relationship when they're with their man or their woman or whatever, right? Or while they're alone, right? Depends on what you do. Health coach, same thing. Just think, what doesn't matter what you do, go through their day and think about their thoughts. What are they thinking? What are they wondering? What are they stressing about? What are they anxious about? What's keeping them up? What are they dreaming about? I dream about things when I'm stressed. Anybody else? I'm one of those people, I do not stay up late. I will not. I could be so stressed. I will still get 8 hours of sleep, but I will be dreaming all night long about what I'm stressed about. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I'll give you guys a couple more seconds. I know most of you are probably writing, but I just want to say, if anything doesn't make sense, just let me know. Okay. And if you even want to type as we go, that's fine, but you might lose your comment. So I'd be careful. Shauna, I thought you were saying that, but I think maybe you probably do feel like that. You're so busy, but I think we're all thinking that. Okay, that was hilarious. Okay, let's move on. Number 2, what have they tried recently? This is so good, guys. I haven't really shared this before. What have they tried recently that didn't go how they wanted it to? What have they tried recently that didn't go how they wanted it to? Well, they tried to have no typos in their webinar. You guys get what I mean? What have they tried recently? Was it a fad diet? Was it a certain sales strategy, Shauna? Was it, a certain marketing strategy? Was it a certain dating app? I don't know. Just think of, and be specific too. So don't just say, it's so important here to be specific. I feel like I should have had a slide about this, but we've got to be specific. So you could say like, they're trying to hustle 24/7. No, don't say that. What do they do? Like actions. What are the exact actions? They tried to promote free sessions. They tried to host a webinar. Okay. They tried to post once on Instagram and hope it worked. They tried to eat only cabbage soup. I was talking to a client about that yesterday. Okay. And you probably don't need to write this right now because we're short on time, but you'll also kind of elaborate like what did happen, you know, which I think if you just write down what didn't go the way they wanted it to, you'll be able to go back pretty easily. What have they tried recently? This is definitely one of my favorite ones. Oops. What do they, this might be my real favorite, I don't know. What do they think they need to do? Or is their next step that's just going to waste their time? Now, this can be very similar to number 2, and I don't want you to overthink it. I mean, technically what I mean is what are the actions they're taking versus what are like the next actions they're thinking like, oh, well, I could try this or this or this. You know what I mean? Before I hire her. Or when that thing didn't work, you can even ask yourself. So when they tried to eat only cabbage soup, okay, to lose weight and they almost died, now what do they think they need to do? But don't overthink it. Just jot down what comes to mind, because either way, whichever way you go, these are going to be good ideas, okay? Amy, we'll talk about the sales pitch. But this training is more on just how to write the post. And so I am going to bring up your question at the end. So don't think about it too much yet, okay? Just think about writing to your person. And we will have Q&A at the end. So if I don't cover it perfectly, you can always re-ask. Everyone needs to be in the idea zone. Meditation music playing in the background. Okay. So now what we're going to do, I hope you guys have a decent sized list, because what I want you to do next is go back through the list and cross out any of those things that you've seen written about before, especially the ones that are super overdone. Now, here's what's cool. Some of you may be like, I think business coaches have this problem. If you're a business coach, you're also an entrepreneur. So you're like in it. You're in the groups. You're in all the other content. So you see what your competition is posting. You see what other mentors are posting. So you're probably going to see a lot of things to cross out. If you're not watching your competition or other people who do what you do, you might not have as much. Or if you just came up with some really unique ideas, you also might not have as much. Don't overthink it. But what I want you to do is really just think like, are any of these overdone? Are any of these written about all the time? And if you don't have much to cross out, do not worry. That is a good thing. That means that you are just a genius. Okay. So this will be more valuable for some of you than others, but I think we all will normally have a thing or two to cross out. Does that make sense? Uh-oh, we have Michelle the genius on here. No, this is good. Some of you are going to struggle more with writing content that blends in than others, okay? So cross it out, cross it out. And now what you're going to be left with is a list of ideas that are specific to your ideal client, and that haven't been talked about before, or at least are not like totally overdone, okay? Michelle. Oh my goodness. So that's a good thing. Here's what else I'll say. Think about the things that you just know because you've actually been there. I mean, I don't even know where I'm going with this. It's just like some things, it's like, yeah, everybody knows they're thinking about that. Everybody's talking about that. And some things it's like, I'll sometimes even go through my head and just think about like my timeline. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that one time crying on the floor over this. And it will be like over some weird offhanded comment someone made. And I'm like, nobody writes about this because they're so busy writing about, well, you're upset you don't have enough clients. You're upset you don't have enough sales. You're upset that you don't love your body, right? And it's like, well, I think everybody could just take a guess about that. But when you write about something so specific and like, I think we're going to get there. I always get ahead of myself, but you just want people to be like, how did she know that? You know what I mean? That's the idea we want to get to. So next step for the post we're going to be writing together, choose the topic that you're most excited to work on with me. Choose the topic, circle it, or just get on your computer where you're going to type or whatever, right? And what we want to do is turn it into a headline. Okay. Here's mine. I'm like, what do I want to say here? Here's mine. This is a post I wrote that I was really proud of and got really good feedback from. So I wrote exactly why you've taken on 30 free sessions just to maybe sign 1 or 2 clients, but probably not. Okay. This is a post I wrote, as you can see, May 2nd. So I realized not a lot of people are talking about the free session thing. They're talking about how to book free sessions, how to be good on sales, but I'm calling out the fact that they've done 30 free sessions and haven't signed a client from it, you know, or maybe 1 or 2. And they're like, what's wrong with me? Which I'll show you the rest of the post as we go. But this is kind of like the type of headline we're looking for. It can be fun. It can be simple, you know. I will say something like, I'll use the word why a lot. So why you're doing this, why you're struggling with this, something like that. Sometimes I'll use the word how to stop, blah, 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 right? How to stop feeling like you have to do free sessions all the time, even though you know they don't work. That would be another way to word this. Let's think. If you're super, super stuck with your headline, put your topic in the comments because that'll help me. But we don't want to overthink it right now. We just want to get it out. Headline doesn't need to be anything crazy. It just got to be to the point, you know, and as you find your voice more, it can be kind of cute-ish like mine is. I feel like I kind of have my style. You know what I mean? Thank you, Mercedes. Psychic versus soul coach. Huh. So, Lynn, I need you to expand. Are you saying like, expand? This needs to be the answer. If you want me to help you with your headline, it needs to be the answer to one of the questions. It needs to be, it needs to be a thought that they're having. So I don't think anybody, I guess someone could be thinking like autoimmune disease, or they're probably thinking like, why is nothing fixing this? Why you're still living with autoimmune disease. Okay, Tricia, probably Tricia, I don't know. It's probably gonna be like what you started is really good. Why you're still living with autoimmune disease, even though what? Even though you've gone to 55 doctors, right? Put in a realistic number, because I'm guessing you've probably struggled with this or know a lot of people who have. So how many doctors are they going to? Or it could be even though you've done everything your doctors told you to, or something like that. Or even though you're on autoimmune threads all day long, right? Do you guys see how that's so specific? They're like, whoa, how did she know I went to 12 doctors? How does she know I'm spending all my time on autoimmune disease threads? Right? Do you get the difference? Oh, this is so fun. I'm a soul coach. Why just seeing a psychic isn't going to give you what you're really looking for? Perfect, Lynn, but what are they looking for? Are they looking for their next step in their relationship? Why seeing a psychic isn't going to tell you how you're going to meet your soulmate, or when you're going to meet your soulmate, or something like that. Okay? You guys get how I'm like going to the next level with specificness? Anya says, hey, Anya. She didn't say, hey, Anya. I did. She says, am I ever going to feel better? That's good, but we want to make sure you're speaking to the ideal client too in it. So we want to say something like, I think you do immune disease stuff too, right? Or maybe you're talking about emotions, because I know you do a couple different things. Expand on that. Am I ever going to feel better about what? why you've completed 10 funding applications but still not secured any income. Kat, that's so good. I like it. I love it. Trisha, okay, cool. Mila, I'm just going to call you that if that's okay. Life after a failed marriage and how holding on to bad relationships creates bad energy and that seeps over into your business. Okay, that's fine. But what you're not doing is thinking of, here's where you need to go with it. You either need to think of the exact thought in their head, because what you're doing, Mila, is showing up as the expert. So you're like, hey, you know, I know you're from a failed marriage and now you're holding on to bad relationships. Well, they're not thinking in their head, how am I holding on to these bad relationships and creating bad energy that's seeping into my business? That's not their thought. What is their actual thought? Their actual thought may be, or the actual thing that they know they're doing is continuing to people please their parents, even though they always make offhanded comments that make them doubt everything that they're doing in their business. Do you see how specific that is? Then they're going to be like, oh my God, she's so right. I call my mom every single day, even though every single time I do, she asks me how much money I've made, and it makes me question everything in my business. So specific. Okay. Oh, so good. Okay. I think this is healthy. I'm going to go through, oh my God, we have way too many comments. We can't do all of these, but think about my notes that I'm telling you. Tariel, why you need to wear clothes that fit your body type. They're not wondering that. They're wondering why they look absolutely hideous and fat or whatever, right? Whatever your ideal client thinks in anything that they wear, right? Something like that, okay? Erin, I'm not sure what a modality is, but it sounds pretty specific, but I'm not sure. Shauna, you can book out your appointments, but you haven't been able to create a generous, consistent wait list because while you're working, your sales and marketing hustle slows down, practically stops. That's actually really good. I mean, I might word it more like, you know, God, how would I word this? But I get it. It's like they take on some clients and then they're so busy working that now they won't have more clients for another 2 months or something because they're so busy. Something like that. But that's good. Michelle, that's amazing. That's really, really good. Good, Maggie. I like that. Jessica, why taking a gazillion courses and isn't improving your business? I just think I've seen that one a lot, to be honest. This is so good. Sandra, why you need to become a warrior instead of a worrier in your business. It's catchy, it's cute, but the issue is it's not what they're thinking. So when you say instead of a worrier, actually warrior, do you see what I'm trying to say? Instead of saying your cute, catchy headline, say something that they're actually thinking. What are they worrying about? You know what I mean? What are they worrying about? And put that as your headline. Or how often are they worrying? Like it can be something like how to actually shift from worrying every second of the day about your sales into feeling like you're a freaking badass. You can say anything simple at the end, but be very, very specific about the worry part. Because nobody's thinking like, God, I wish I could just become a warrior instead of a worrier. Nobody's thinking that, you know? Although it seems like a great headline in marketing world, but Janica, yours is good. I might even throw in a strategy that they're actually trying. Oh my God, you guys are so awesome. Yeah, Robin, that's good. Okay, we're done with headlines for now. If we have extra time at the end, I can help you guys more, but I did not expect that many comments, but I'm just so happy to have them all. So thank you for sharing. Yeah, Deanna, I like that. Okay. Step 2, tell their story. What we want to do is show them that you know what they're going through. So this is just expanding on the headline. So like Robin said, why you've taken 200 images and you hate them all and how to take a photo like a pro. So Robin, you would literally write the story, last Sunday you went out with a friend and a camera and had her take all these photos or whatever. Like, you just start writing the story. And like I was saying a little bit earlier, you want them to read this little section. This is like a paragraph or so, and I'm going to show you my example in a second, but just start writing, just start letting it flow. Because what I don't want you guys to do is have a post that looks exactly like mine, right? That's like copyright. That's bad. I want you to write from your heart, but just use this as a guide, okay? You want their reaction to be like, oh my God, how does she know that I just went through that? How does she know that I just set that tripod up in my office and tried to take cute photos of me at my desk and they all turned out terrible? And now I'm still stressed about having no photos, And so now I'm not going to post anything on social media, which means I'm never going to get clients, which means like, this is a total fail, all because I'm ugly. Like that's a story that you can tell. Do you know what I mean? And it's their story right now. Or maybe have them think something like, wow, I'm not the only one going through this. So when I wrote the post about the 30 sessions, people were like, oh my God, I thought I was the only person that took on all these sessions and couldn't sign clients from it. Okay. So here's kind of some ways that I'll get started. I love using the line like, let me guess. And I'll say something like, let me guess, you hired a business coach, or maybe you took the course of the business coach, you did everything just like she did it, you followed the templates to a T. Like, that will be the actual post copy. Or I'll just say something like, you feel, you want, but you don't know, right? And I'll just write, okay? Here's what mine looked like. I'm going to keep putting this post together, so you guys are going to like see it build out. I decided to put in some cute emojis, right? So I said, post goes viral, Acuity confirmation emails in your inbox like crazy, calls being booked. It feels like your big break. You do the calls, you realize how amazing at coaching you truly are, but you still haven't gotten a client from it yet. And those that did say yes, totally ghosted you, but maybe it's still worth it. Maybe they'll come back around. Do you guys see what I did? I told their story. And that is why they're going to be like, whoa, did she hack into my email? Like, does she have a secret camera in my office? And do you guys see how I wrote out not only what they did and what went wrong, but I put in like how they felt too. And I put in all the feelings. I put in, when the calls come in, it's like, oh my God, this is it. This is my week, And then they do the calls. They're like, man, I'm such a good coach, right? Because that's who I'm speaking to. I only work with women who know they're good coaches, who know they're good web designers, who know they're good copywriters, whatever, very specific. Okay. Janica. Oh my God. I'm laughing right now because I remembered that you messaged me you emailed me how to say your name. Because we always joke about we always joke about that in my group, guys. She didn't just like be like, Taylor, this is how you say my name. But I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I don't know if I'll ever remember. But your post about courses, it would be a lot better if you said a specific kind of course. Was it a launching course? Was it a course on webinars? Was it a course and even though it might not be everybody you're talking to took that kind of course, you pinpointing that and even pinpointing some of the stuff that it taught them, that might feel really uncomfortable, but that would be a way to make your post about buying all the courses really, really good. Janica? Like that? Or Janica? Does this make sense, guys? Janica. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Yay, finally. Does this make sense? How do you guys feel? I know this can be overwhelming. Don't try to get it perfect right now. Just write, okay? That's what I want you to do. Okay. Step 3, tell your story. This is where we show them, no, I don't have a hidden camera in your office, okay? Like, you know what I mean? No, I didn't hack your email. No, I didn't hack your Facebook Messenger, right? You're like, I've been there. I usually will say something like, I get you, I've been you, right? That's it's one of my favorite lines. You guys can use that if you'd like. Because I'm sure I didn't invent that. Yes, Jessica, there will be a 24-hour replay. So just set another hour aside or so in your calendar. This is important because you want them to see that you truly get where they're at, right? And that you're on the other side of it. And here's why it's actually important. One of the number one reasons that people do not buy is they don't know if the end result is possible for them. So when you can say, look, I've been in your exact position and now this is where I'm at, they realize, oh, I can do it. You know what I mean? So just think back, when have you gone through this? Or, because some of us don't always, most of you, your ideal client's probably an old version of you. Not all of you though. So if that's not you, we need to be thinking about a client or something, okay? And if that doesn't fit you for some reason, I highly doubt that you don't fit in one of those, but if it doesn't, you can always just tell them like, look, this is normal, okay? Something like that. Because we don't want to just be like calling them out, you suck, hire me, right? We want to be compassionate in our sales. So this is how I did it, okay? And I didn't have enough room to put the whole post, but this goes right under these emojis, okay? I said, I remember it like it was yesterday, but it was 2016. I booked something like 17 free sessions in 1 week. I was sure this was it. First 5-figure month. Here I am, right? The calls went great, but most people were a no when I pitched, and it felt so awkward. And then someone said yes. Half of those yeses totally ghosted me. The other half paid a deposit and dropped out the next month. Out of probably 100 free sessions that I've done in my business, I've signed 2 or maybe 3 really great clients. I felt a lot of shame. I felt like I obviously sucked at sales, or that nobody saw me as an authority. Someone even pitched me on my own free call, and another 2 or 3 people asked me to collaborate, okay? Now, when I write this post, some of you may hear it in my voice, but like, we want it to sound like that. We want it to sound like, oh my God, feeling emotion. Do you guys get what I mean? This explains the whole story that I've been there. Make sense? And so you can say something like, I get you, I've been there, I went through the same thing. But what people need to realize is you don't always need this perfect middle line. I just jumped right in. So literally you'll see the whole post at the end, but literally right after this, raise your hand if you were guilty. I remember it like it was yesterday. I don't have this like smooth transition. You don't need it. So many people overthink that. I'll give you guys like a minute. This webinar style is perfect because I can try to drink water, but I don't want to bother you drinking it. Okay. Are we good? Are some of you ready for step 4? Christina. And Christina, I don't know you super well, but just from being in my community for like a couple of weeks, I feel like, or a week maybe, I feel like you do have a little sass to you. And I love it. And you're allowed to have that sass. But I think going back and reminding that, and it cracks me up. I love it. But like, it can't hurt to go back and be like, hey, look, I'm not perfect either. I've been here. You know what I mean? Otherwise, people are like, oh, Christina just must be perfect. Like, all she does is call me out on everything. Like, Malwina, I don't know. Would you say that those are just for Facebook or Instagram as well? What do you recommend is better in your opinion? This is going to be so good for Facebook and so good for email. If you put it on Instagram, you're probably gonna have to shorten it if you write long posts like me. But it will work on all of them. And if you guys want to check out my Instagram, it's the Taylor Manning, and I do a mix of posts like this and then like, quotes or shorter little updates. Because I'll say this really quick, even though I don't want to get off track, but then we'll go right into step 4. I don't think Instagram is designed for posts like this. I'm a coach, I'm trying to sell, right? So I do that. I do put some of these up there. I normally just send them to my assistant and have her shorten them. I just have to put trust that she can do it. But these are probably like super ideal and super perfect for Facebook and email, to be honest. And actually, here's what I do. I write a post like this. I put it on Facebook. I put it in my group. I'll put it on my business page. I'll schedule it out as an email, and then I'll send it to my assistant, Miranda. Some of you may have met her. And I'll have her just shorten it a bit and put it on Instagram. That's how I do it. So step 4, you want to show them the gap. basically what you teach that is going to solve this for them, right? So what we need to remember is this post is to sell. This is not what every single one of your posts needs to be, okay? Most of your posts can be a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of behind the scenes, right? Very simple. This is to sell. We're focusing on a specific type of post today. So it's targeted to people who need your help. And this section is supposed to lead them to something that you teach that they need to learn from you, so they can be like, oh, okay, so Taylor teaches this. Taylor solves this problem. So here's ways to think of it. Think about just showing them the solution. So you're like, this is what I do. This is what I help people with. And here's why. Here's what it is, right? Or showing them another way. You don't have to do free sessions, right? Which is kind of what mine's about. You'll see it in a second. Explain why what they're doing doesn't work, okay? Logic sells, which is what I did here, okay? So I'll read it to you. Hopefully you guys can see it okay, but this is what mine says. And again, this goes right under my story. Looking back, now that I consistently keep my coaching practice full with high-end clients, so see, I'm showing them on the other side. It wasn't my sales at all. It's that this is a shitty strategy. When you go into someone else's group or even your own, when it isn't optimized to act as the cash container in your business and you book tons of free calls, you're going to attract two kinds of people. Victims looking for free help who don't believe in investing. You know, some of them even said this on your form. Or smart buyers who are going to be ecstatic to talk to you, but they aren't going to buy because they don't know you, or they don't know what they need to know to invest wisely. And even if you are a total sales queen, I had a total typo here. I bet the best pinch of ice cream in my freezer that you will sign clients this way who don't have full trust in you. So they don't do the work or get results. They are not actually ideal clients, so they aren't fun to mentor, and or don't finish paying you. So what's the missing piece? What needs to change? It's all in your community, or as I like to call it, your cash containers. So do you see how I explained logically why free sessions don't work. Do you guys see that? And then I said, so what's the missing piece? And I introduced my system. I introduced my strategy. I just happen to have a fun word I'm playing with right now, cash containers. I just made that up a couple days ago. So for those of you that are like, oh, not fair, Taylor has all these really cool words, or some of you might think it's really silly. But I know I felt like that with some coaches, but the truth is I just made that up in a dream a couple days ago. And so I just threw it in there, playing with it. And then we go into the pitch, which is step 5, which I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to read some questions. Michelle, for this section of relating to the client, can you do that by relating to a feeling you know they have? For example, I met a bunch of people who feel like by trying to plan for retirement, they are selling out since they should be doing this thing they love forever. Michelle, that is so perfect. Love that. Exactly, Rosella. I tried forever to force it. And now it just comes to me. And I'm like, oh, that's fun. Let's try it. Let's see if it sticks, right? So just so you know, on the topic of not trying to make this perfect, that's the only way. I've never been able to do anything perfect. Like I literally, in my webinar, I have typos in the webinar and in the post that I'm using as the example for the webinar. It does not need to be perfect. But yeah, you're so true. I mean, you're so right. It's so true. Does this make sense? And it doesn't have to be this long. You could literally skip what I did here. This just came to me. I just wrote this. It was flow. You could literally take all this out and just say, so what's the missing piece? What needed to change for me? Or what needed to change for my client? Or what needs to change for you? However your post is flowing. Like it could be that short. This could be one or 2 sentences, just so you know. How do you know when to make it longer or shorter? Trust what's coming out. Kind of like Rosella and I are chit-chatting about. The fun language comes in when you just let it flow. You don't try to force it. Same thing. So if nothing was coming to me, I would just keep it super short and simple. Okay. Step 5, tie it together with your pitch. Okay. Here's some optional pieces. And again, this is the same way. It's like, just pick what just flows out of your mouth, flows out of your fingertips, right? You can introduce them to the offer. You can show them the results of your offer. So sometimes my pitches are more like, here's my course and here is what it includes and what we cover and whatever, right? Or sometimes it's like, my course is open and here's how awesome the women are in it. Sometimes it's a mix of both. Number 3, you could also just explain what's covered, what it's about, right? And or you could explain who it's for. My course for women who blah, 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 and who want this result, blah, 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 blah. That's enough. You can do all 4. My pitch I'm going to show you on the next slide. It's long, a little bit longer than usual, but it'll show you a couple of different elements. But I just want you to know, like, you can just do one of these elements. It's totally fine. And in fact, if you are trying to book out your one-on-one right now, that's probably going to take you at least a couple of weeks, right? Very normal. If you're in a launch of a group program or a course, it's probably going to be open for a couple of weeks. So you're probably going to be writing a lot of content. So sometimes only including one of these in the post is sometimes even better. Mine's also really long because this was for my event, which was closing in a couple of days. So it's like, this was kind of my last chance to give everybody all the info. You know what I mean? But it wasn't forced. So I don't want to read all this to you. Can you guys kind of see this yourselves? But basically what I said is, when you have this in your business, everything changes. You no longer need to do free sessions. You no longer have to stress about people not getting what it is that you do because you're actually showing them. You're making 10K to 20K cash every single month just from your community. This is where I introduced the offer. This is only a small piece of what we're covering in my 2-day experience, Break Free with Taylor Manning. I'm also covering, right, bullet points, release and up level, unleash your desire, marketing saga, content that sells, lead generation, cash container, soul client attraction. And you guys can see under each one, I gave a little info, because some of my words, they don't make sense totally on their own sometimes, right? So I expanded. And then I literally just said, cannot wait. And what I did with this one specifically is put the link in the comments. That, to be honest, I'll kind of elaborate on that for a second for fun. As you guys kind of sit with this, read it, write down your notes, start writing yourself. I've been just playing with putting stuff in the comments because a lot of people have been preaching that helps the algorithm. So I've been doing that for the past 2 weeks or so. Normally I just put it in the post, but I just wanted to elaborate because I know people are always interested. I don't know if it's working. I don't know how to tell. So another example, just do it, just try it, right? Does this make sense, guys? Awesome. So that's the final step. I have a couple things I want to share with you. A couple of little bonus tips. I kind of said these, but I just want to make sure they're very, very clear. So if you guys are still writing or whatever, that's fine. Just listen to this. But I have 2 things to tell you. So obviously, do not use my post as your template, okay? I know nobody here would be trying to copy on purpose, but I will say this. I've been in your shoes. I've done that with coaches before where I've literally took their posts and rewrote them. Not gonna lie. Use the exact same format. That doesn't work because it's not coming from you. And it's gonna go with my number 2 tip, but I just want you to know that's normally coming from you not thinking that you're good enough or that you can't get it right. You can. Just write the words, let it flow. This is not like a law. This is not a universal law. This is not anything like that. So there's a million ways to write an amazing post that sells. This is what's been working for me for the past like 2.5 years. So it's my thing, I'm sharing it with you. Tweak it to work for you. I teach in my programs. Take these strategies, add your spin, and then master. That's the step. Learn the strategy, add your spin, and master it. I tell all my private clients that. I tell everyone in my course that. And that's what I'm sharing with you today because that's how it works. That's how I've gotten the most out of working with mentors and trainings and whatever, right? And with that said, like I just said, there's no right way. The goal of this training is just to show you some key pieces that work really, really well. Cool? So like I said, when you're feeling stuck because you're trying to make it perfect, just right. Can this work as a Facebook ad? Yeah, you can totally make this work as a Facebook ad. I've been finding recently Facebook ads do a little bit better with maybe shorter copy. I also say this, I used to do Facebook ads for people. I've done every service under the sun. Like I said, I was very good at Facebook ads. Normally you don't sell on a Facebook ad. You can, but it doesn't work. Janica just asked that. just freebies. So you're going to see, I'm going to share with you guys my course. So if you're not interested, you can totally leave. That's all the content for today. But what I do is I run ads to this webinar that you're on today every month. And at the end, I pitch my course. So that's how my Facebook ads work. So I'm not like running ads saying, join my course, hire me, hire me, hire me. But I'm saying, get on this free training, do the content. If you feel compelled to listen to the pitch and to join, you totally can. If you don't have to, you can hang out longer. Hi, Audrey. Which this is another example. You don't need this flawless transition. Those of you trying to do webinars, just say it, right? Just say what you're going to do. Okay. So like I said, I will have time probably after this to answer a couple questions. So stick around if you have them. I'm going to share with you about my course, like I said. But I can't teach you everything today. Like, I love you ladies, but I can't. So I do have programs for you. I do have mentorship for you. I do have support for you. It might be a good fit. It might not. It probably is if you really, really love this and you fit the requirement things in the beginning. It probably will speak to you. So let's see if it's a good timing for you. But if you have any of these questions, right? Because what we don't want to do is just think just because we have good copy, which good copy is like so important and one of the harder things for a lot of people. So I'm so thankful to be able to give that to you today. But just because you have good copy doesn't mean you can just go splatter it all over Facebook and expect to get results, right? Like I said, some people will think they can just write a post, have no audience, post it on their profile. No, or just put it out as a Facebook ad. It doesn't work. So if you have these questions, if you're wondering, well, where do I post this, right? If you're wondering, I don't really have an audience yet, right? How do I build an audience, a community that will buy from me? What other content do I actually need to grow my community and nurture them? Because that's the steps, right? You've got to grow a community. You've got to make them love you, and then you can sell to them. Okay. What if you're like, what if my program's not aligned? What if I'm not sure of the pricing? What if it doesn't feel good, right? Because here's the thing. If you're questioning that, it's not going to sell because you feel out of integrity. What if you're wondering about your confidence, right? So like I said in the beginning, you need to know somewhat that you're an amazing coach or service provider or whatever. But if part of you is like, what if I do struggle with confidence? What if I do wonder if I'm like ripping people off a little bit by charging too much or whatever, right? You've got to make sure your confidence is sky high. Also, what if you're wondering, is your sales process even on point, right? Does it even work? Okay. So if those are guesses for you, if those are things that you're still wondering, if those are the gaps that you have, some of you may have just needed better copy. So if you already have a community, if you're already selling, if you already know that your sales process works like a charm, then you're totally fine. You can hang out and see how I pitch, or you can leave. I never say like you can leave in a mean way. I'm just like, no, it's totally fine. But if that's no, right? If you do need those things, I want to tell you about my course because it's the best course out there. Just like this webinar is the best webinar out there. And it's just so good. Okay. I'm going to tell you about a couple people that have taken it. I think that's really important. I'm going to tell you what we cover. I'll give you the link and I'll answer any questions if they come up. Okay. So this is Christy Bailey. She joined the course in November. I've been running this course since November, every single month. And I've had over 70 women take this course, or almost 70 women, like 67 or 60 or 67 or 68, something like that. So here's where she was at before she joined the course, to be totally transparent with you. She'd already signed 2 clients before, but that's it, 2 clients. And she was really terrified to leave her old business. Okay. And her old following. She was a fitness coach. She didn't want to do that. She wanted to be a business coach. She thought her experience wasn't good enough because she wasn't really that successful in her past business anyway. Meaning she was maybe making like $1,000 or $2,000 in her old business, I believe. So she was like, well, how can I just be a business coach? It's not like I made 10K months, right, in my fitness business. But what I do with people, both privately, both in this course, is pinpoint their story, pinpoint their skills, pinpoint what they're amazing at. And this is what happens. Okay. She was in the course for not even a month when this happened. She had in 1 week, $12,000 in sales, $9,500 cash. Right. And she's doing no sales calls. She did no sales calls. She hates sales calls. And yeah. Then she's talking about her goals. You guys can take a second to read that if you'd like. And then the next month she updated us, right? She woke up, had a $3,500 cash sale for her mastermind, paid in full. And then she signed a client and on a payment plan. So December 13th is her first $15,000 day. And December was a 20K month for her. Okay. She's such a badass. She's an exception, meaning you get to be the exception, but she did everything that I said. She did everything she was afraid of, and she didn't let herself be an exception to the tips I was giving. And she also made it her own, right? So she decided, I'm not doing sales calls. And instead of being like, is that okay, Taylor? Is that allowed? She just did it, right? And that's why now, okay, not even 5 months into her business, January 2018 was a 60K cash month for her. And she's actually keeping that consistent. That's another thing I see from these women is a lot of them have very consistent results, which is not normal, unfortunately. So this is Susie, okay? She also joined in November. And before this course, full transparency as always, she was already making 5K months, okay? But she wasn't sure how to hit 10K, and she joined the course. I love her. She set her goal at 7K because she was like, I don't think 10K is possible yet. I don't even need 10K, right? That's all what she said. She set her goal for 7K. A couple other things. She was already traveling the world full time, but she was working all the time doing it, right? She had no boundaries. So she had to get really real about the fact that like, I do have this dreamy life, but I feel out of integrity marketing it because I'm actually working the whole time. You know what I mean? This is her update. Okay. Testimonial of your lifetime ahead, ladies. She set her goal for 7,000. Like I said, last week, she came into the group last week of this post and said she made $11,000. Okay. Then in 24 hours, she made $14,500, which put her at $25,000, guys. This was like halfway through the course, which I can barely believe, but it's true. And she's another one. She's keeping this consistent. She's got this membership site, still sending clients, like just, and her lifestyle has changed. She's still traveling the world, but she's actually enjoying it. I love watching. If you don't follow Susie, by the way, go follow Susie. Follow all these women. Follow Christy Bailey, Susie, because these are other amazing leaders of the industry. That's who I work with. You might not feel like a leader of the industry now, but when you scroll through the people who've done this course and you go check them out, you're probably going to be intimidated because they have become leaders. They have become leaders. That's my intention. That's the energy. That's the space that I hold. Yeah. Aaron Wood says Susie's amazing. Yeah, she is. This is Shannon. This is Nicole. She's also amazing. This is Shannon though. She did the course with me as well. She came into the course charging 2 or 3K per month, right? For her, or making 2 or 3K per month, right? And charging 3K for her coaching. Since then, she signed her first 12K client. She's had an 8K cash day. She's had multiple 5-figure months. Okay. She's had multiple 5-figure months. And I just saw news on Facebook that she had a multiple 5-figure month, a 20K month. What the fuck? Excuse me. It's so good. It's so good. I'm like so proud of her. And here's what I want you to know too. Like I explained this with Susie. I explained this with Christy. Christy thought, well, my business was not successful before. So like, I can't be a business coach. Susie thought, well, I have this cool lifestyle, but like secretly I'm working all the time. Shannon had these thoughts too, right? I wanted her to charge 10K so much sooner than she did. But the reason that it took her a little bit to get there is because she had all these doubts. You know what I mean? And she was wondering too, like, why is her content not working? Posting all the time, getting crickets, wondering how she can stand out to her ideal client. She's another one. She had a business before this and she thought it wasn't good enough to market. A lot of the women that work with me have had a business before. It's not a requirement for this course, but a lot of them have, and they're like, it wasn't that good though. Like, it wasn't that cool. Now she has this amazing story because we've crafted it. So here's my cute little image. I want to read Michelle's comment. I actually met Christy, Susie, and Shannon before they joined your course. I never knew what skyrocketed their success until I saw your last webinar and realized the timing. Yeah, and here's the thing, guys. I was just talking to Audrey, who's on here, who left a little sweet comment that I didn't read yet. But we were having a conversation about this, and she's a client of mine. She's done this course, and I was telling her, like, I don't give my clients the results. You know, I hold the space of the women that come into my course, that come into my private coaching, become leaders. That is who I want to work with. That's what lights me up, right? And that's why I feel like a role model. I feel like I need to be that role model. I do not want to be that leader that's like perfect, but like that's the kind of leader like I'm crafting it myself. And all three of those women, I know a lot of people on webinars would be like, they're not the exception, you know, they were just like you. They were just like you, but they're also the exception because most people, and probably a lot of you on here said with so much love, are not ready to do this work. You know what I mean? You've got to go into this. This is a course. I don't know any other courses that have results like this just from the course. And that's because the women that join it, that are the testimonials, are the exception because they're the ones that go through the modules, and literally each module, they don't just look at the homework that I put because I give you homework. They make their own homework. I remember Christy, she shared with me, she goes, I made a list of all the things that you said to do that I'm afraid of doing, and I'm going to go do all of them today. So I don't care if you join my course or not, but like I would go do what Christy did because that's what she did. And I remember her post is still in the group. I remember her sharing that and I was like, damn, there we go. And then look at her now. She's one of the most successful coaches right now in the industry by far, and one of the realest. So I'm so grateful that I got a chance to work with her, but she did that, you know, and you can do that for yourself too. Do you get what I mean? So here's what we cover, because I think it's really important to go, okay, because most of you have done courses, have hired coaches, I'm sure you've invested in something, you've probably done a ton of trainings. This is what we're covering. So as we go through this, if you're even slightly considering, I would ask yourself, are these the gaps I need to fill? I do have a website, so I'll put in the link now to the sales page for you guys. I have a very simple website that you guys can check out as well. Sales don't ever come from a website though. A website is like having a bulletin board. It's not really for sales. So obviously I'm selling on the webinar, but people will buy on a sales page, but they're actually buying here, right? Module 1, how to go from 4-figure months to your 6-figure year. So the difference between 4-figure month people and 6-figure year people. So how do you stay motivated no matter what, even when you're getting offhanded comments from your family, even when results aren't coming in, even when you're disappointed, right? So if you feel your energy up and down, you need this. How to stop setting financial goals that you never hit. So if you're one of those people that sets these huge goals, you're all psyched on the 1st of the month, and then by the 5th of the month, you're like, oh, nothing yet, I give up, right? And you don't give up because you're still here, but you decrease your goal. And as the month, if the month is going on and your goal is getting smaller and smaller, you need this. Module 2 is about creating a 6-figure badass mindset. So what I have in here is really, really special. Nobody else teaches this. It's very simple, but nobody else teaches this. It's my 3-step process to clear any block. Everybody who watches this video is like mind blown. And it's simple work. You don't need to meditate. You don't need to tap. You don't need to journal. You don't need to do any of that. But you just need to watch this video and do what I say. And every block around your pricing, your goals, whatever, it will be gone. Okay? How to manage your energy so you can always create amazing content that sells out your offers in minimal time. So if it takes you a long time to sign a client, if it takes you a month or 2 months to sign a client right now, that's where I'm showing you how to collapse that timeline. Okay? Module 2, the 2 things that you must know to sell out a coaching offer. So we're going to talk about how to connect to your soulmate client deeper than anyone else's, so you can get rid of the competition. And we're going to talk about why what you do is different than anyone else so that you can build your confidence in what you do and stand out. So if you feel like you're changing your ideal client a lot, this is for you. And if you feel like your confidence is kind of iffy, you're like, I know I'm good at what I do, but there's people that are better than me. You need this. Module 4, the secret to creating content that actually sells. Okay. How to stand out even in Facebook groups where nobody's engaging. My favorite thing to teach, because that's what Christina's joking about, how she said she's going to spam my old Facebook group. Because I love teaching how do you go into these groups that are like spam fest and actually get engagement, because they're kind of like little golden nuggets, to be honest. How to build connection with your people so they feel confident buying from you, right? These sales posts are genius, but if people don't trust you, the posts aren't going to work. How to format your pitch so people are called to reach out and buy today. So how many of you feel like with your one-on-one, you're like, oh, I need some urgency. I need a timer on the page, or I need a bonus or a price, or like a discount, or I need something so people buy now. Because why are they going to buy now if it's just my coaching package looks like this forever? Not true. Bonuses, urgency, timers, that's all good. But with your one-on-one, you're not always going to have that, right? So we want to master that for you. Module 5, a different pleasurable approach to sales. I teach sales different than anybody else as well. I don't believe in sales scripts. I hardly believe in sales calls. I'll do sales calls very, very rarely. I believe that your marketing is what allows you to get no objections. And I believe your boundaries is what allows you to never be ghosted. Okay? Just gave away a little bit of the answer, but obviously we go very deep in here. So I'm going to teach you how to stop getting objections. So if all you hear is now's not the right time, I don't have the money, or people say yes, and then they don't ever show up again. They're like, yes, I'm going to buy, send the contract. And then they literally fall off the face of the planet. You need this. And my follow-up approach. So if you feel like you wonder, like, should I reach out to this person? Should I follow up? Do I seem desperate? Do I seem salesy? Yeah, we need to do that. Module 6, the missing piece of almost every single inconsistent business, I see a lot of them, is community. We're going to do a whole module on community, how to build a raving pool of raving fans who want to work with you, how to build hype around your story, so that your audience is convincing each other to buy from you. Right here, look what Christina said. I spammed a group and 2 people said, I want to buy your course. I only mentioned I do have a course, and this is only 1 week into just following Taylor. Christina has not bought from me, and she is pitching for me. Love you, Christina. And I think she's only known me for 1 week. That's what I teach you in the course. Can we just be honest right now? I love it. Okay. I literally teach you that because I love Christina already. In 1 week of her following me, she doesn't need to buy from me. She might in the future, right? She probably will in the future. We'll work together in some way or another. It doesn't matter though. I have people in my community that buy from me all the time, that buy from me sometimes, and that never buy from me. And they all promote me because I give them love, right? And I teach you actually how to do that. And I stand out from the other people they follow. And that's not because I'm special. It's just because I actually put love into it, which I show you how to do. Module 7, ditch the shoulds, create your own rules. How to get fully aligned in your business so that alignment or mindset is never the reason you don't hit your goal again. Who's heard that? Who's heard, well, you just weren't aligned or your mindset got in the way, right? That is true, but it's actually an easy fix. It doesn't need to be something that's all the time happening, okay? Also, your secret power. You get to decide how every single thing works for you. So we are doing a little manifesting in here. And we're going to put the pieces in place to cut your time in your business way back and create more income at the same time. And module 8, keep people hooked on you as a leader and mentor. So how to hook your community in so you are the first person they search when they wake up in the morning. I always tell my clients, that's the goal. You want your people who follow you to wake up, grab their phone, search your Facebook group on Facebook, or search your Instagram handle on Instagram. Okay? And obviously how to create such a loyal following that they buy from you over and over and over. And your conversion rate is out of this world. Cool? Awesome. I'm out of breath. Here are some other really cool testimonials though, okay? Fabi. Anybody know Fabi? If you don't know Fabi, follow her. Dreamboat. She signed her first 10K client in this program, which was really, really cool. And obviously, she was an earlier member. So January 2nd, this is her saying, I just made another unexpected sale of a 10K client. She's someone else who raised her rate to 10K, but she was terrified. She's like, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to work. Now she's having 40K months. So cool. Anna is so sweet. She said, I know it's peanuts for you guys, but it's big for me. I made my first $4,000. So I wanted to share some testimonials like this. Anna is somebody that didn't have any income before this course. And if you're already making money, I think it's reasonable to say yeah, you'll probably make more than others that aren't, right? A little bit quicker. Not always. I see people go from 0 to 10K in a week. It's so fun. It's normal. That's cool. But I wanted to share with you somebody that worked really hard and started at 0. Michelle, I feel like I know all of your clients, but I didn't know about you until last month. That's because my clients are sometimes even cooler than me and they're leaders. So Shannon, who knows Shannon, follow Shannon as well, booked her first 12K client. And I think there's some other testimonials on the sales page from Shannon as well that kind of document her journey. Mackie, love Mackie. She sold 2 masterminds. She did a smaller offer when she first joined the course. So she made 2.4K in 2 days. And then Kiki, I love her testimonial. You know, she was somebody that was kind of at this like stuck point. She had made money in her business before. And now she's kind of at this like plateau. And she's like, you know, and she had to stick through some time of not making money and just keep doing the work, right? This is not for you if you're like, this needs to work right now. Because when you're in that space, it's not going to. But when you chill out for a second, like she did, then all of a sudden it clicks. Okay. In 8 days, she got 2 clients, which was 10K. Cool. Okay, Robin. So here's the deal. When you join the course, I'm actually re-recording the course right now. So you guys are one of the very few groups of people that are getting this opportunity. I recorded this course. It was a 6-week, 6-module course in November when I first sold it. And so all of that's recorded and you're going to get it all instantly. I'm going to explain everything else you get too, but as soon as you join, you'll get access to the 6 modules. Now these 8 modules, and they're pretty much the same as these 8 modules I showed you today. I just crammed it a little bit in too much short of time. I wanted to spread it out and give people more time to like integrate, as I always talk about. So we're re-recording it. So yesterday I did module 3. So if you guys join today, you get all 6 of the old modules, and all these testimonials I've shown you today came from the old modules. The new modules are going to be even better because I've been able to study every single issue that these 70 women have had and improve the modules. That's why I'm doing this. This course already makes me at least $15,000 a month. So I don't need to redo it, but I am because I'm like, it's going to be even so much better. So you'll get the 6 modules that are the old ones. You'll also get the 3 modules for the new course that I recorded, and you're going to get access to the live module recordings that are like this, where you can ask questions, hang out, that are hosted throughout June. So you're actually getting live support from me through June, which is really cool. 5 videos with me, 5 live streams with me where you can ask questions, hang out, experience it in a different way. So we're kind of in this weird in-between point with the course where it's like we've got the old version and we've got the new version. And I thought about just saying, okay, let's just keep putting people in the old version for now, and then we'll reopen it up in the new version for new people. But I just want to give it all to you guys. So does that make sense? And here's what it looks like, okay? There's a Facebook group. Everything's kept in the Facebook group right now. We have very, very organized. So it's not trying to scroll through the video section, like can't find anything. We have a file in the Facebook group. That's the old course, the old 6 modules. There's 6 60-minute videos. Some of them are actually 90 minutes. Don't tell anybody. And worksheets for each. That's in a file. There's another file where we're keeping the new modules as they go. So all the links are super clean. Workbooks for each of these new 8 modules will be coming probably in July. So you're just going to keep getting stuff, okay? Yeah, so that's what it looks like. And then the Facebook group, I have a team member, Miranda, who you'll get to meet. She goes into the group every single day. And what she does is, if you guys ask a question that's been asked a ton before, so we've had a lot of women take this course, she'll give you the answer. All the answers are coming from me. If you ask a question that is more unique to you or it's never been asked before, she'll just ping me and say, hey, go check out so-and-so's question, and I'll answer it. So there's a lot of women in there. That's how we keep me sane and not exhausted. But I want you to know that you do get that kind of support, which is really cool. Lifetime access to the course. If I ever change anything, if I ever do new modules, I'm guaranteeing that you will get access to that. I think that's it. Does that make sense? I'll put the link in here one more time for you guys. And if you have other questions, let me know because we're wrapping up. Here's the investment, okay? You can do 4 monthly payments. I've never done this before. You can do 4 monthly payments of $547, which is very reasonable, especially because it gets drawn out past the course. But I wanted to do that to make it really, really easy for you. Or it's $19.97 in full, okay? But only for the next 48 hours. So for a lot of the women here, guys, that's a 5-time ROI or 10-time ROI. The women are just like, I mean, you can make your investment back so quickly for this. That's what it was designed to do. When I first did the 6 modules, I worked very closely with a mentor to design the course to be like not coachable, but to design the course so it would really work for people. And our intention was, how do we get these people to make their investment back quickly? And how do we get them to make a huge ROI that's unheard of in the course world? So that was literally my intention creating this. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's not a bad deal. Of course it's not a bad deal. Can you imagine? So the price, it's kind of a bad deal, but yeah. So the cart is seriously closing in 2 days at midnight. So that would be Thursday at midnight Eastern. So you have a couple days to sit on this if you want, but here's what I say. You know, if you want to do it, and as soon as you join, you get access. You can start binge watching stuff tonight. You can start getting to work tonight, whatever. But I would just say trust your gut. And if it feels good, come join us. If it doesn't, then you can leave. I'm just kidding. You cannot join this time and it's totally fine. So would love to have you though. Here's one last thing just to invite you. If you guys have questions, type them in now. I know some of you will be scrolling on the sales page. Of course, we're going to send out some emails afterwards just to remind you over the next couple of days. It's not going to be like 50 emails a day, I swear. But if you guys have a question, you can respond to an email. You can message me on the live chat. In the bottom right-hand corner of my website is a live chat. You can message me on Facebook, okay? Michelle, what is the cost to work with you privately? So on my website as well, I'll put it on here and I'll answer it. I don't say my price. So to work with me privately is 4 months and it's a $20K investment. So it's 4 payments of $5,000. And there's a pay in full discount as well. And I'll say this, 9 times out of 10, the private work together, and I don't know where you're at in your business, Michelle, or anyone else who might be like, it is for people that are a little bit farther along. So a lot of the times if someone that's new in their business or like not even making 5K months yet, right? That would be a little crazy of an investment for somebody who's not making anything or very little. I'll send them through this course first and then we'll talk later, which is actually what I did with Christy, right? So she did the course, she had the 20K month, and then we worked together privately and she had the 60K month. So you don't need to be at 20K first, but that's kind of my way of doing it. But we can talk about it if you'd like, and you can check out that page. When do the live Q&A start for this program? So they're already started. Remember, we've done 3. We've got 5 more. I'll tell you when they are. I'm traveling most of this month, so my schedule's a little crazy. So we're going to do one on May 16th. We're going to do one on May 28th. We're going to do one on June 4th. We're going to do one on June 11th. We're going to do one on June 18th. And we're going to do one on June, well, maybe June 25th. That might be an extra thing. So don't hold me to that one, but definitely those dates that I already said. Yay. Awesome, ladies. And if there are any other questions, like I said, live chat, bottom right-hand corner of the website, Facebook, search my name. Email me, just reply to one of the emails you've gotten from me today, okay? Yay. Oh, let me say hello. Stop share. Here I am. Did I see? Okay, cool. I didn't miss anything here. Okay, that's all. Thank you, ladies, for being here, and I hope to hear from you, and I hope to see you in the course. Bye.